Hello, and welcome to Final Show Films. I'm John, the executive producer here, and I'm listening to a bunch of people yelling from a set of headphones off to my right and getting very distracted because ADHD. Welcome, everybody, to the stream. Particularly welcome our Patreon supporters and everyone who supports us on Twitch and YouTube. Particularly, I want to thank our $25 tier supporters on Patreon, Rowan Parker, Trevian Alexander, Samantha Bates, Cat Waterflame, and Elle, without whom we wouldn't be able to do nearly as much of what we do now. So, thank you all very much for tuning in, and those of you watching live, please sit back, relax, and enjoy. We're live.
Hello, everyone.
Dinosaur story.
We're live. Dinosaur story.
Get out of the way beforehand, just in case you forget.
Again.
Yeah, we're not gonna let that go.
That's okay. You don't have to. It doesn't bother me.
You're not the game master here, John. You can't threaten.
I'm not threatening. I'm just saying it doesn't bother me.
You're saying it with the intentionally threatening tone of voice.
That's how I talk.
That's what every
Exactly.
threatening person says.
When I talk,
Anyway.
it's either sexual or threatening. I have no middle ground.
That is
You
true.
say those like those aren't like also kind of the same picture.
No, but seriously, that's true.
Anyway,
Mhm.
William's
There's a
trying to do
reason why I'm a
introductions
dom,
at some
alright?
point.
Anyway, I'm William. I'm the game master for this. I almost said Star Wars, fifth edition science fantasy
What?
game. Joining me today, we have Jeremy.
Hi, I am Jeremy. I am playing Kendall Fairchild, Eladrin Warlock.
Right.
and and Jack.
Hey everybody, I'm Jack. I'm playing Till Wayland, Avian Monk, Way of the Iron Path, and 1/3 of the Birds and the Bees.
And Cody.
Cody, I'm playing Varouche Al Rule, Loxodon Void Keeper.
And John.
I'm John, and I'm playing Koltar, the Orc Artificer.
And Holly.
I'm Holly. I'm playing Mistral, the Envarin Rogue.
And Camille.
Hi, I'm Camille. I'm playing Gideon Eaglin, the second third of the Birds and the Bees.
And Craig.
I'll be playing Bees, the last third of the Birds and the Bees, a swarm of Nocturne and Torch bees that collectively form a Swarm Keeper Ranger.
I mean, if you count the bees all individually, you're definitely not the third. You're definitely.
We have
much more than
unfortunately
just the third.
established that's not how this group counts the bees.
Nope.
No,
Sure
it's
isn't.
not.
Trying to do that for votes.
No.
We count the
Any
bees. That's how,
situation that gives bees the ability to outvote us, we don't take that. We don't accept
that's how we count the bees when it's comedically appropriate.
that. Yes.
Okay, legit.
And before anything else, Black Lives Matter, trans rights and human rights, everything else that we say all the time.
Fuck Marilyn Manson, die in a fire.
Believe women, believe victims.
Yeah, that one happened.
And take care of your dog because you never know when they're going to leave you. So when last we left off, the group had hunted down and defeated a wandering fiend, one of the former hybrid troopers of the previous Empire's regime, in a gruesome but not necessarily all too threatening combat. As you learn that these creatures can be dangerous, but when isolated can be handled with a group of your numbers and skill. Now you just have to worry about finding them in groups. But with that work done, the group returns to town to prepare, make ready to enter the palace, and also do some last-minute shopping for tiny outfits for Mistle and regular-sized outfits for Kendall. And any other shopping that needs to be done. Speaking of which, does anyone need to acquire equipment that they haven't already done?
I mean, mine's being built, so no.
Yeah, I'm still working on it. No, I have my gun. Now I just need the gold to modify it further. I need to make
Trying to
make
think.
the Colbrack go boom.
Haha, Colbrack,
Oh.
go brack.
There aren't any magical tattooists around, are there?
There is, in fact, a magical tattooist.
Ooh.
I actually described them yesterday while you were going through town.
I mean, last week, but yeah.
Last week. You know what I mean.
Okay. Yeah.
Last session.
Till's gonna stop in there then and see what's what.
Bruce will tag along. If possible.
So,
And Till will try and convince Kendall to attend as well so that he can, have eyes on.
Mr.
Kendall's
wants to
busy
go.
buying. Oh, okay. If we're going there, that works.
I'm
I
assuming
didn't know
this is
whether it was
after the
going in at
shop.
the same time or yeah.
No, he would have waited until afterwards.
Okay. Yeah, you'll go.
as a group of you enter, quick background question. Have any of you ever seen a troll before? This is up to your individual characters.
Till has.
Yes, but I'm not
Definitely.
there.
How prominent would they be in?
In natural order space, not very. In the divide,
Nope, not once.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no.
Gideon, are you
That's
going?
absolutely a rhetorical question for us. We don't. Yeah, we don't know anything about it. What were you saying, Craig?
I was asking if Gideon is going because
Go. Oh,
on the
yes.
shopping trip. Okay, all right.
Yes.
Then Beans is there too.
Okay.
so the two of you have probably never seen a troll before as well. Just
Yeah, I
because-
would say probably not.
Like 100% not.
So standing behind the counter is this uncomfortably tall and lanky humanoid lizard person with this sort of long snake-like face and a strange combination of human and reptilian eyes where they actually like have sclera, but there's just this sort of like crimson iris with the reptilian pupil. With these sort of long, this individual's hands are four-fingered. But any of you who have seen trolls before know that they can have a variable number of digits and potentially even limbs, depending on how they've modified themselves or been modified. With like four-fingered hands ending in long nails, with a prehensile tail that is long enough to wrap around its shoulder like a scarf. And its scales are this sort of vibrant pattern that shifts between greens and purples and oranges that sort of seems to shimmer in the light as it stands. The pattern itself almost seems to shift as you look at them. And you can see growing out of their shoulders are a pair of what looks to be like organic. There's not really a way to describe them other than like weapons banks, as they look like a pair of raised surfaces in their shoulders that look to be filled to the brim with organic spines. As this like very tall lizard person looks up. Hey, welcome to my shop. What can I do for you today?
Afternoon. Wanted to see what sort of inspiration you had around here.
Well, My name is Krezin, and I am happy to answer any questions and provide any services. My shop is transfiguration and tattoo work. So if you need any alterations made to your figure, to your appearance, or need any new additions, I am happy to assist.
Till will shrug off his tunic, which leaves him bare to the waist, and he's got those green vines with thorn motif that cover pretty much his entire upper chest. This is what I have so far. Artistic only, of course. Looking for anything that might help make things a little more capable, especially if you've got something that works well in the dark.
You are looking to delve into the darkness?
Seems to be going that direction.
I can provide you with a tattoo that can imbue with a source of magical illumination to light your way if you're looking for something like that.
Yeah, that is sort of how
Probably
time
would
works.
make me a little bit of a bigger target, though.
If you wish for light, then so you will be. But I have many others if you're looking for anything in particular.
Anything that can make it easier to navigate or maneuver or even just see down there?
I could potentially. I can inscribe you with a tattoo that will provide you with the essence of another species, including some of its more unique traits as well, which can include the ability to see in the dark.
Sounds interesting. What do you have?
Well, for instance, if you were to, for instance, acquire a trollkin tattoo, I could apply you with our natural species Stark Vision, as well as the genetic adaptability that allows us to grow natural weapons of unique varieties and unique tools within your body.
Well, that's interesting. Till kind of flexes his feet a little bit with the talons against the floor. I've got my own here, but having something that's a little more adaptable. What sort of cost are we looking at here?
The simplest version of this would imply only cosmetic changes and the basic of Dark Vision, which would be sold for around 100 galactic credits. If you wish to also gain weaponized features, we would charge around 250.
Total or in addition to the base 100?
Total.
And what sort of tools are we talking about? I'm a shipwright by trade. Are we looking at anything that might serve to substitute for that, or would I still need my usual kit?
Well, the kinds of things that we trolls grow into ourselves are varied and unique. But, for instance, if you are one who works on ships in dock, I could provide you with the tools to be a nimble climber outside of the use of your wings, so you would be able to perhaps maintain a solid grip without having to make yourself noted as a flying creature. Or if you require something more combative, I could grow you a thicker carapace that could help you withstand blows or even the acid spits that some of my kind are famous for.
The mention of acid spit, he sort of gives a side eye to see what Kendall's reaction to that is.
Kendall looks really distracted at the moment.
Okay. By something in the shop or
No, she's clearly deep in thought and considering things.
Okay.
He's probably actually looking around at designs.
I myself, for instance, he says, indicating to his shoulders, am endowed with spine banks, which provide me a ranged projectile in matters of dangerous situation.
Interested in the climbing side of things, something that could keep me locked in on a vertical surface.
Indeed, or even upside down.
250 sounds like a good price to me. And
Indeed.
he'll pull out the credits and slide them across the counter.
He takes them. Very well. Please, sit down. He indicates to a chair that's set off to one side.
Yep, he'll take a seat.
And the troll reaches into a drawer and pulls out what looks to be some kind of tattoo needle. As he sort of picks it up and sort of twirls it in his hands, he walks over. Now, this will sting for a moment, especially when you feel your body begin to rewrite its morphology. But once it's over, you should feel good as new.
You're the expert.
And he picks a spot that's right around. So this kind of tattoo would take up either half of one of your limbs or like the surface or surface of your chest or like your shoulder blades on the back. What would you prefer?
He'll probably go for like probably left arm, upper left arm.
Upper left arm?
Yep. With a little bit onto the shoulder, probably, yeah.
So he presses it up to your shoulder and presses the injector, and there's this spark of magical energy as this spreading pattern of ink begins to bloom across your shoulder in the shape of what looks to be like a coiling troll, almost wrapping itself around your upper arm.
Neat.
And as you do, you feel your eyes almost begin to glow, and anyone looking can see Till's eyes almost take on a reptilian shape as they assume the reptile-like slit pupil that is iconic to the trolls as he gains dark vision. And then his hands and feet become more slightly elongated, but also more muscled, and the talons on his feet become even sharper as he gains the nimble climber enhancement of the troll species, which gives him a climbing speed equal to his walking speed.
Nice. Dope.
Anyone else? Or is there more work I can do for you?
Varu should get a spine launcher in his trunk.
Excuse me, I've got to sneeze. Murder.
What sorts of things are on the shelves?
I mean, as you look around, there are tattoos of all sorts, both just like you can see like the regular like the gallery of previous works that you can usually see in a tattoo shop is laid out along with various different arcane tattoos along with their specific effects laid out. You can see the special one that he indicated is known as the hybridized tattoo, which basically gives you a couple of racial traits from a different species.
Okay, so it's not. There's nothing visible on the walls like other than tattoo design. There aren't items or anything like that.
No, like none of the individual needles are on the walls.
Okay, all right. Thanks.
There's also pictures like before and after pictures of people who have undergone cosmetic changes with this individual for like when they're looking to alter their figure, or some people have wanted to have a complete physical gender reassignment, or just like any number of physical changes that anyone might want to have made with this individual. He's also got a number of examples of those on the walls as well.
Okay.
And it's standard 60-foot dark vision, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have any more of those that let you see in the dark?
I can apply more hybridization tattoos with any species of your preference, including more trolls.
I assume these require attunements.
Yes, they're like the regular magic tattoos. It's just it's another version of magic tattoo that is unique to the setting.
These tattoos, do you activate them like by speaking an incantation or?
It depends on the tattoo. Each one is unique and provides its own advantages. The ones that I provide just now, the hybridization tattoos, are passive. They are always active until you choose to remove them, at which point they will recoalesce into the needle provided.
And you need living skin to imbue these tattoos, right?
Not necessarily. I have imbued these into the armor of an ethereal before.
Beast,
Hey, Gideon.
you see anything you like?
No, I thought maybe we could find a little sun, but this isn't that kind of shop.
Get a hybridization tattoo for Skirtobar. Give him the spine launcher. It's a missile
Probably
rack.
could.
What about you, Gideon? Are you going to get pictures on you?
No, I got too many feathers, man. Till's
Okay.
got mostly skin. That's how he can do it.
Oh, don't worry. These can apply to those of more feathered persuasion as well.
Really?
It is a form of sorcery. It is adaptable.
Well, in that case, that dark vision thing sounds really cool.
Would you like that in the hybridization tattoo with someone in specific variety?
Can you explain that again? Sorry.
So basically, the hybridization tattoos will give you a minor racial trait like dark vision of an individual species, and then one of their unique racial traits like the adaptations that trolls can graft into themselves, or like a dragonborn's once every so often fire breath, and so on and so forth.
Give me 1 second.
Basically, you can attune to an uncommon magic item that will give you one of the significant racial traits of a different race.
Two in this particular case.
Yeah, well, dark vision being sort of a freebie.
Can you get just dark vision though?
If you want to,
yeah, that was the 100. That was the 100 credit version.
Yeah, that's just 100 credits for just dark vision.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what Varouche will do for now. It's just the 100 version.
Any particular flavor of dark vision you prefer? That of dwarves, that of trolls, that of elves?
Tieflings?
We do have that.
No particular.
Like Varouche is like, not tiefling.
That's not, nothing fiendish.
We do have the essence of a plain touch of the celestial origins, if you would like one of those.
Sure.
Varouche knocks over a nearby shelf in excitement.
Very well.
That's the whole thing.
100 gold credits, and we can do this.
Unless you want to spend 250 and get wings.
If I could get wings, that'd be pretty fucking dope.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it wouldn't if you wanted both dark vision and wings, you would need to get like the protector ASMR, which would give you temporary wings.
Yeah.
Temporary wing better than
people talk shit about flying pigs. Flying pachyderms would probably be the most terrifying thing ever.
Divine flying pachyderm.
Yeah.
Even worse.
You just get the radiant wings, the spectral.
Yeah. If they have a version that'll give me the spectral wings as well, then I'll fork up 250 for that.
Yep, it's price of an uncommon magic item to basically get dark vision and a minor racial trait.
Awesome.
Man, you're all supposed to be giving me your gold so I can make weapons. Now you're spending it on tattoos.
Only because I can't afford the ones in real life.
Fair.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
But for the spot that Varush wants his, it'll start in the back of his head, and then it can branch out from there.
So with this, you will get the Protector ASMRs. Yeah, so you will get Dark Vision and the Protector ASMR's Radiant Soul feature.
Cool. I feel this like latent itch in the back of my skull, and I realize it's my old 3.5 Munchkin tendencies coming out. So to satisfy that itch, William, I have to ask, does the variant human feet count as a racial trait?
No, so specifically, the hybridization can only provide like physiological traits. It can't provide you with weapons training or any of the like
Feats
cultural
or-
things.
right.
Any of the cultural things that a racial profile gives you.
What about like the magic resistance and stuff like that?
Yeah, it can provide you with the magic resistance and like any of the physiological stuff
Is
that it
halfling
has.
luck a racial trait?
That's a good question, and in my particular case, I'm going to say no. You cannot hybridize
That would
luck.
be busted as fuck for like I mean you all know I make weird ass characters in 5th edition, but when I was younger and dumber, I made some horribly unbalanced 3.5, and that's what's going on here.
That's the point of 3.5. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like I would say
If
that
you're not breaking shit in 3.5, you're not doing it right.
I would say you could hybridize the adrenal glands that provide orcs with relentless endurance, but not halflings and luck.
Oh man, okay. Now just lore wise, I do kind of want to make some beefy ass bees.
Muscle bees.
So
All the bees just turn green and get ripped.
So some of the bees, the hive armor is just sort of slumped in the corner, and the bees are sort of going around looking at the different designs. Some of the bees will come a little closer to the troll, and Bee's voice will come out of them, and it says, could you help us see in the dark?
Potentially, he says as he's injecting this tattoo into the back of Varush's neck, as it spreads up around the back of his scalp and around his shoulder blades. His eyes just ever so faintly begin to glow with a golden light that will become brighter, and not necessarily enough to give his position away in stealth, but will show off that his dark vision is of celestial origin.
I'm just picturing Wally torchlights just like coming out of his eyes anywhere he looks.
And then this tattoo spreads across and takes the shape of like tattooed angelic wings along his shoulder blades, which would then manifest into the actual wings whenever you use Radiant Soul.
Sweet.
And for clarification, you can only have one hybridization tattoo at a time because obvious reasons.
Right. What are the other traits of the Aesir?
Radiant consumption, if you want to turn yourself into a torch and eat yourself inside out and everyone else around you.
Necrotic Shroud.
Necrotic Shroud, if you want to use a fallen ASMR, which is basically a frightened effect, and also increases your damage output. And then the variant ASMR gives you access to the light cantrip and some basic divine magic like Lesser Restoration and Daylight.
I think I'm going to go with Gnome and do Gnome's Cunning.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to look really neat, Gideon.
Gideon shrinks 3 feet.
You want T magic resistance?
Yeah, that's a physiological thing they have.
And pack tactics is cultural, right? Like
yes, that is definitely cultural.
Okay, yeah. I did kind of for a second like the concept of Well, everyone told us we needed to be a better fighter. So, I mean, we needed to work better with others. So give me a tattoo that does that. Why learn a new thing when you can just buy it at the store?
McKenna, how much time you brought?
Shadowrun.
Because I don't have money.
William, how much did we get paid for the last job we did?
I don't remember. I hope that you all kept
Awesome.
track of your own money.
It was I think it was like 300 and some, and then we got an advance on this job too, so we had a bunch of gold. Oh, and is he saying when he says credits, is that equivalent, 1 credit equivalent to 1 gold? Or I feel like there was a conversion.
Yeah, he's talking about gold credits specifically.
All right. Gideon, how much gold do we have? Because I think I gave you all the gold.
You did, and a lot. We have like 1,500 left.
Okay, all right.
Does anyone remember? Does anyone remember the individual payment for Holly's sake?
I think it was like 500 because I had about 750 before I started spending mine.
Yeah.
It would let's see. Okay, I have it down. So it would be.
I think we got paid
between 7 of us.
It would be half of 1577.
Oh, I didn't mark mine down then either.
So
it's 788.
788.
788.
Okay.
Yeah, so 780 and some change.
Okay.
No, you cannot take that to your check.
So yeah, so Bees was asking, if he could do anything, and then he kind of said maybe or probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to do the Nomus Dark Vision with Nomus Cunning. How much is that?
250.
250. Okay.
So you get dark vision up to 60 feet and Gnome Cunning, advantage on all intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws against any kind of magic, whether it's a spell or something else magical.
Yep.
I would say that Yonti specifically would not be available in this shop because that's a much rarer species that is not common across the galaxy.
Oh, I'm already part spider, part wasp, part scorpion.
There can't also be part
I want to
snake
get some
right
snake
now.
in there too. Okay, that's fair.
Like Dragonborn technically wouldn't be available in this shop specifically because Dragonborn are a rarer species.
Okay. At this point, Bees is mainly interested in hearing how it would be done before considering it more seriously.
Well, with a little bit, with my knowledge of the arcane and understanding of magical currents, I can tell that you, as the swarm of sentient bees, have a unique connection with your armor hive, yes?
The bees kind of withdraw towards the hive armor. Maybe.
Well, imparting the tattoo upon your armor hive, I feel could very much work similarly to the effects upon an ethereal, in that the shared connection you have with your armor would then permeate across the bees that live within, thus providing you with whatever effects would be required.
Would you have to take the armor parts out of our hive?
No, I can simply apply it to it. It might permeate beneath the hive because you seem to have built a lot on top of whatever you have as a core. But
okay. Bees are sort of one by one going back inside the hive.
if there is anything you like, I can probably apply it.
Okay.
Would anyone else like to do business?
Sweet.
As he applies the gnomish tattoo to Gideon, and he sort of feels the mental pathways readjust ever so slightly as it feels like his consciousness becomes ever so slightly more naturally resistant to mental effects as he gains the gnomish cunning trait.
From
Yes, that's right.
inside the hive armor. How you feeling, Gideon?
Great.
Does Gideon look different?
I would think my eyes would probably change a little bit, but they look more like an owl's than an eagle's.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You don't shrink or anything, as was suggested.
No. If anyone wishes,
That's a different tattoo.
well, that's also just a service he provides. If anyone wishes bodily alterations, I can also do that.
I mean, anybody with a hacksaw can make somebody shorter. That's nothing.
It's nothing. He's not special.
Mistel will ask, can you make me bigger?
I certainly can, within reason. There is a certain esoteric limitation upon the enhancement of physical size that makes it difficult to apply without greater magics to a significant degree. Scientists
medium-sized.
Scientists refer to it as the square cubed law, but it's a certain amount of there is a certain amount of energy required for a significant increase in mass.
Proud of you, bud.
If I did it, would it be permanent?
As long as you maintain a tattoo. If you choose to remove it, then correction. If you would have me do a physiological change, it would be permanent until you request someone of a similar skill set to do something different.
Okay.
That said, my kind of magic, I understand, is actually quite common. It was passed down to me by my ancestors on this planet. But I understand it's quite a common skill set among trolls and other magical transfigurationists across the galaxy. You can usually, from my gathering on Galnet, find someone like me in many major cities.
Why do you want to?
Which means you don't necessarily need to make that decision right now. If you're
Yeah, no, I'm good. I don't want it to be like permanent. So yeah.
Why did you want to be a different size, Mistel?
Mechanically speaking, he can't change your size category. He can make you taller within the tiny size category.
I've just been curious about like being bigger, but I don't want to be bigger all the time. I like what I am.
I could give you a taste and undo it if you just want to try. I am not above being generous.
Not right now, but thank you.
Okay, just wait until I cast Enlarge on Mistel.
3 of us need to learn Enlarge so we can all just chain cast it on Mistel.
Go to medium.
Well, if there's 3 of you, then it would go from tiny to small, small to medium, and then medium to large.
Can it go to large? I guess it can't if you cast on a medium person, yeah.
Yeah, that's the Dwergar racial ability does that.
Oh, I forgot about the Dwergar.
Wait, the Dwergar can just make themselves large?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they gain the ability to just cast Enlarge on themselves.
They have the racial feat beefy boy.
I have a tattoo request.
I say that is a hybridization tattoo you could get because Like that is a common dwarven subrace in the galaxy.
That's cool. Get it.
Which is a thing that Mistel could get if she wanted to be able to do that temporarily.
I'm sorry, what
And,
did she get?
A Durger hybridization tattoo if you wanted to get both dark vision and the ability to enlarge yourself temporarily.
Mhm.
You would turn
She's-
what? Go to
Oh, dude, that'd be dope.
Mr. would go to small
Yeah.
because it doesn't. It's technically it sets them to large, but that's because they're already medium. I
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
like
yeah.
It says, like goes up or down one.
unless
You would go
unless
up one size category.
yeah, unless William says no, the text says large. You go to large.
No, they cast the enlarge reducer spell on yourself once with this trait. It goes to one size category up.
Oh, mine just says for 1 minute, the Durgar magically increases in size as long as anything it's wearing or carrying.
It's if you go to the gray dwarf subrace in the dwarven race list.
But that'd still be a cool trick in battle.
Oh, for sure.
Like, yo, this Envarin just turned freaking huge. For an Envarin, anyway.
Though for things like Durger magic and the trolls like natural augmentations, which has like multiple stages to it, the hybridization tattoo can only give you one of those features. So you could either get the enlarge or the invisibility, not both.
Gotcha.
It is worth mentioning with the large thing. I think it used to be a spell. After Wizards changed that, it's no longer a spell, so it's no longer casting enlarge. It just makes them large.
That's for the
That's for the
NPCs,
NPC, or no,
not
no,
for the player
no.
race.
That's yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
the player
NPC
player race in
Yeah,
D&D
yeah.
Beyond casts enlarge reduce, only using the enlarge version.
Yeah, the NPCs just go to large, which means that if you shrink an NPC and then they use that ability, they go back to large. They don't go up to medium.
What
That's silly, but
By rules as written, anyway.
when did Rhaegar get added into the playable race? Is that Volos?
yes.
I believe so.
I would love to hear a DM or anybody give the narrative justification for two Duragar fighting. One gets shrunken down to tiny and then goes large. It's like, how did that work? Is it he's not the star of this show, I guess?
Well, you see, this Duragar's hatred for you is so primal, so
intense.
pure, that it says, fuck the rules, I'm going large.
Well, Mr. was just curious about it. She's not going to get it right now, though.
I just think that since literally all of you, everyone except Coltarn is at the tattoo shop, Coltarn's just somewhere else tinkering with something.
Yeah.
We all got matching tattoos.
Oh, nice. He just pulls up the sleeve on his own tattoo. Cool. Puts it back. Oh, well, yours does shit? Well, damn. Look at what they have to
makes
do.
a note for research, right? Yep.
Look what they have to do to replicate a fraction of my power.
Shut up, J.K. Simmons.
And you, my lady, he says, looking to Kendall, would you like anything done?
I'm good. I am totally fine. No desire. I am
Very well. Also of note, he has the regular magical tattoos as well, if you're looking
Right.
for those.
Yeah, but I assume I couldn't have afforded a Shadowfell tattoo. So, I'm going with what we've got here.
Oh, the Shadow.
I've just wanted dark vision for like forever.
Which is a
So
rare,
this
yeah,
is great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Although the
Probably
idea
could not
of,
afford a rare tattoo. Yeah.
No, probably not. Probably not.
the idea of a 10-foot tall Kendall is interesting to me.
We're going underground. You may want to hold off on that for now.
I'm just
Kendall
imagining.
Kendall evolves to Lady Dimitrescu.
I'm just imagining. God damn it! I'm just imagining like Kill just being frustrated that she's just a larger target now.
Right? It's like, God damn it, you made her easier to hit. Fuck.
I just imagine all the enemies suddenly going, "Step on me, Queen." Wait, what?
I do enjoy
Well,
the
don't
concept.
make it appealing to me.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the concept of Kendall basically going, wait, so you're saying there could be more of all this?
I could take up 4 squares instead of just 1. Oh God, large bees.
No.
Like, would the suit get
Well, I
larger?
think we've got
Would the suit get larger but the bees stay the same size, or would the individual bees get larger as well?
Bees changes their name to murder hornets.
right.
Like, this is very important to hash out now, because it
Well, I
might
think
become
we've got
relevant later.
a castle to
Yeah,
investigate.
if you get the magic tattoo, you'll find out then.
All right. I'm just standing outside the castle, the palace, waiting with what's his name?
Yeah.
I swear they said they were going to
Marcus.
be right here. They're right behind me.
We went shopping and then they all disappeared. I don't know what happened.
He found an
We all had to
opium
get in.
den.
They come
It's
back
been
all
days.
everyone's got like face tats, and it's like, I see you've all become
Like the
song
first time the
rappers."
Marauders go into port, Jeremy.
Yes. Yes.
No, Pyro, we're so proud of you.
They all walk up. Most of them have new tattoos. I just look over. How many of you got drunk?
None of them, surprisingly.
Kendall holds a hand up.
Except Kendall.
Crystal has a new outfit she's very proud of.
Also,
Great.
the Durga rules are in the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide.
Ah, Skag. Okay.
Skagag.
Did I miss the clothes shopping part?
That was the end of last episode.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
ma-
before everybody got together for the. That was a 2-person shopping trip.
Yes.
Okay.
3.
2.5.
Sure.
Mistel's currently in one of the nicer dresses that she got, with like her hair braided off to the side, little bit of makeup on.
Kendall looks very proud.
She's also sitting on Kindle's shoulder. I picture her like kind of like swinging
Right.
her feet so that like the dress is like swishing up. She's been doing this
Awesome.
the whole time.
Yes, eventually you all arrive at the palace. New tattoos acquired. Several of you having gained dark vision.
Oh. General, where do we start?
Well, follow me and I'll lead you inside. It's quite the complex, so try not to get lost.
Okay.
I make no promises.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. One of us probably is going to.
As you look up at the building
Stay
before
together
you,
then.
the palace is probably the size of like a small mountain. Like the building itself probably takes up like any of you have been to Georgia, it's like the size of Stone Mountain, which isn't
Oh,
really a
Jesus.
mountain, but it's big.
It's a large granite pimple.
I would assume that there is nothing remotely this size on Nocturna, correct?
Oh, absolutely not.
Does the palace have problematic stonework on one side, though?
It has the emperor's face on it, so yes.
Okay. All right. Yep.
We're working on clearing that out.
We should fill it with cement or sandblast it off. I feel like
I
that'd be the
understood
most
that
effective
reference.
methods. Which one?
The one that Jack made. Problematic stonework.
Problematic stonework is my Leonard Skinner cover band.
Problematic stonework is my Kings of the Stone Age cover band.
But as you step inside, you are greeted with the front doors of this building are large enough that you could use an elephant to open them.
All right, Baruch, get to it.
Baruch, you're up.
The day is mine.
And you're not even certain how they're supposed to be opened normally until Marcus reaches a hand out and presses something, and you can see magic runes light up across the surface of the door, and they just begin to swing in of their own accord.
I would like to analyze that as it goes into effect, because I get the feeling that might be relevant later.
Goes, that was easy. No.
Like, I would like to see if I can familiarize myself with that particular technology and see how it's put together, and if it bears any similarity to the arm that I have in my bag.
Roll me investigation.
Investigation. A 15.
It bears an amount of similarity, but not over much. Like there's clearly a distinction of purpose here.
Yeah. I'm more looking for technique than anything else.
There's definitely a similarity in technique, yes.
Yeah.
As Marcus takes his hand away. Unfortunately, this door is keyed to the mystic signatures of specific individuals assigned to have access to the palace. I never had my access revoked before the emperor was removed. So myself and my high-ranking officers are the only ones who can open this door normally. We're working on changing that.
I imagine. Looking at the technology, it's very similar. They're not in design, but in technique, to the bits and pieces that we found on one of the fiend hybrids. Was this also the work of that same scientist?
Well, the work of his team, yes.
So we're locked inside, basically.
Well, if you want to get out, you find me or one of my officers.
Or find a command console that we can use to key in ourselves to the door.
Is anything about this familiar to Bees? Am I getting any of those weird tickles of like not quite my memory that I've had before?
Roll a wisdom check.
Okay. $21.
As you think about it and you dig deep into this weird well of memories that you got, there's something familiar about this, and you're not certain what, but there's a part of you that recognizes the essence of what this is, this sort of like essence-based recognition magic that identifies someone by their magical energy, often their soul in most cases. You're not certain why you know it, but it is familiar to you. It doesn't give you that same like must be destroyed aspect or must be kept away from anyone aspect that the sword does. But it does twinge familiar.
Did we have anything like this at home?
Do I need a roll to see if I recognize it?
No, you didn't. You absolutely did not.
Nah, bro. I don't know what's talking about.
Okay.
You remember this? This looks familiar to you?
I don't know. Maybe something like this. Maybe there was something in the swamp like this before we were us.
Maybe it's something that the hive remembers from like a long time ago. Don't you guys have like generational memory or something like that?
Yeah, sometimes it comes through. It's just sometimes it's weird to remember things before we could think about them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
You see things or things happen, but if you don't think about them kind of from the outside, like we do now, then remembering them is kind of weird.
Well, genetic memory works different for people like me, but I think you guys actually do pass information like through different ways, over time. So maybe it's something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Thanks, Gideon.
As we make our way, Till is just looking for anything that anything that looks like it might be important to our tactics or execution of hunting things in here.
I'm once we begin to move again, I'm going to be basically keeping an eye out the entire time we're in here for anything that looks like more instances of that same technology. Even if it doesn't look, strictly speaking, like a door, I'm looking for more instances of that because that will eventually, hopefully, lead us to a laboratory.
Yeah, secret underground laboratory.
Yes,
It's what I call a library laboratory.
Yeah, secret underground laboratory. That's where I fabricate lies.
What the hell is going on tonight? I don't get any of the references tonight.
That wasn't a reference. It was just me being silly.
Mine was a reference, but it was a very specific one that you have to like watch an abridged series to understand.
Yeah.
Fair.
And I'm tired. So. Anyways.
I'm tired. The 2020s story.
Yep.
Anyway, so as you dig through this palace, as General Solend guides you around, sort of walking you through the places that the Emperor was known to visit, that scientists were known to work, everyone can go ahead and roll me either perception or investigation to see if you find anything of note.
I would like to investigate the vessels.
22 perception.
24.
Soul
Nice,
of the
Mistle.
lost withdrawn from its vessel.
Soul of the
7.
lost withdrawn from its vessel.
27.
Does
I'm gonna
this
use my
only rely on
inspiration.
sight?
Fucking
or
show
would
off.
This
smell?
would be sight. This would not be smell.
I'm
All
using
right.
my inspiration to roll again on my investigation.
We have
Same.
hundreds of eyes, Kendall.
23.
Y'all are ruining the curve.
Hey, curve's only good if it's steep.
Hey, I doubled my roll with a 12.
Nice.
So let's go down the line. Till with a 22, as you're looking around for like strategic import, things of particular, combat note. One thing that you find appears to be, as you sort of look around and sort of fan out just enough to get an eye on things while not getting too far away from everyone, you find what appears to be the manufactory for augmented arms for these creatures, and you see a variety of different weapons that appear to have been manufactured and just prepared for mounting onto an individual subject. And you see everything from like the implanted claw gauntlets that replace the hybrid troopers' forearms to shoulder mounted machine guns to what looks to be an entire what you would identify as like a suit of power armor, except it looks more like a massive robot that is designed to be grafted onto the person wearing it, which also comes with an energy saber and a machine gun hand.
That doesn't sound weird at all.
Till points that out to Coltarn. That might be interesting.
Yes, I could use that.
And then with the 24 from Mistle, what are you looking for in particular? He's looking around.
She's just kind of poking around right now.
Mm-hmm. So what you find, we'll get back to later.
Okay.
Bees with a 27. Are you also just poking around? Are you looking for anything in specific?
No, I guess
I like
kind
how
of
you
looking,
skipped over Kendall's 7.
Yes, I did.
I figured you were going from top to bottom. So I was waiting for Kendall, you walk into a wall.
Or Janet.
Kendall, you find some really old wine.
Works for me. My one now.
I guess
vinegar.
in order of priority is like anything that looks like or reminds them of the sun, because they're bummed that there isn't one here, at least that they can see. And then beyond that, just kind of keeping all their eyes out for any threats or anything interesting. And then I guess sort of bottom line back burner is because they had that weird sort of old untapped memory tickled, anything else that might trigger that.
Okay.
But that's not conscious, so I don't know how active that is.
Mm-hmm. So with a 27, as you look around, you don't see much that signifies a lot of sun, but you do find one very particular place that signifies the sun as far as you know it, which is anywhere you see the royal's insignia. Like it appears that the symbol of the empire itself, like the former emperor's personal seal, was a black sun emblazoned on a crimson backdrop.
Ooh, so black sun. Okay. This is an odd question, and I don't know if it's one that you're comfortable answering. I know in general, I know you don't like to prescribe feelings to characters, but like on gut reaction, how does that make bees feel?
Like,
Or do they have a gut reaction? Are they looking at it and they're like, that's not the color of sun I want to see, and they just look elsewhere?
That's largely up to you, but there's something familiar about it very similarly. Not in the like, I innately know this, but like this is something very similar to something that I innately know, but it's not the same thing. And that like it's like 2 layers removed of I know this thing.
Can I take a sample of that sigil then from somewhere?
Probably,
whether
yeah.
it's like taking a flag or grabbing an item that has it inscribed on it, whatever is easy to carry and stick into the armor.
Yeah, you can just grab something like a small banneret that's hanging around one of the throne rooms. You can just sort of grab it and.
Yep. Can I do that sneakily?
You can. You also don't have to, because you get the sense that this symbol is sort of going out of fashion.
Okay.
As it was the old emperor's symbol.
I still will do it, but I won't worry too much. Well, it's a 22, so I think I'm okay.
You are fairly sneaky, even if you didn't need to be. Coltarn with a 19.
I used my inspiration to reroll. It was actually.
Oh, right, you did. 23. Yes, so let's go further down. Gideon with a 20 for now. What are you looking for, Gideon? Anything in specific, or just looking around?
Yes, I'm looking for anything that tells us more about what happened with the Emperor.
Mm-hmm. So, as you're looking around, you eventually find what appears to be a massive library that look to be private. Like there's no like station for a librarian. This appears to have been a private collection of books, likely for the Emperor's eyes only, or the Empress, which includes a massive number of tomes that you could spend a long time pouring through, but that might have some potential information on the history of the Emperor and the Empress and what happened over the course of their reign.
Cool. I'm gonna grab a couple of those Williams and try to find somewhere to, just chill and read for a bit until we have to move on.
So cover that in just a minute. Coltarn with a 23.
Yeah.
You're looking for more of that technology.
Yeah, I'm looking for signs of that technology that could potentially lead me to secret doors, things like that.
As you look around, there is a marked increase in the prevalence of that technology as you move further into the palace. Like it's centralized around a core.
Mhm.
And as you get closer and closer to it, you start to see more and more of the scientists' work, the weapon lab that Till finds, the like now defunct creation labs where some of these monsters were made, that has been largely ransacked and torn through. You find a number of different science facilities that it looks like this palace was both the seat of rule and also where the head scientists did their work as the single most secure location in the city.
And so as he's looking around, he's going, no one that constructed this was gotten rid of easily. While I'm searching for further, so now, like once I start finding science labs and things like that, I'm going to be searching through those for resources and materials that I can use, that I can repurpose. So like if there's any way that I could repurpose like that, that exoskeleton into some gold value in parts, I'm going to do that. Like in going through all that, but also while doing that, I'm looking for places where the room doesn't make sense. Specifically for like how if you were to look like down the hallway where two doors were, and you go in one room and you go in the other room, and the location of the wall relative to the doors doesn't match up. I'm looking for that. Things like that. Where it's just like, it's not something that really stands out if you're not specifically looking for it. But any places where there's a bit of fuckery with the geometry, in connection to those like laboratories.
And then with a 12 from Baruch, are you looking for anything in particular, or also just looking around? You're muted.
Yep, I realize that. All he's really looking for is anything that any passageway or entryway that looks like it leads down, because if these things were released underground, they gotta have a place, they gotta have a starting pen that they just like let them out in. So
Are you also looking for geofuckery?
no, just any place that seems like it leads down further into the mountain.
Got it.
Yeah, I'm looking for geofuckery because we've been told they haven't found his anything relating to his like personal lab or escape route, which means it's not going to be one of the places that are obvious.
Yeah, so Colton's looking for geofuckery, and Baruch is looking for the entrance itself.
Yeah. And then with Mistle, the thing that you find as you're looking around, you eventually find what appears to be a ritual room. As you enter a large, squarish looking facility that features a pair of statues to one like centered in the sides of the room, and what appears to be an altar dead center that you could only assume to be for the sacrifice of living beings, along with the like how to describe the incredibly ornate, massive circular mirror that sits at the far end of the room, that like is wrapped in a gilded golden frame that almost looks like claws clutching the glass around the sides, and then just like old stone torch braziers lining the walls, which seems very out of place for this otherwise relatively high-tech palace.
And this is a separate room.
Yeah.
Okay. She'll call out to the others. Guys, I found a really creepy murder room over here.
I feel like Kendall wandered in right after Mistel and just sat down on the altar to take a drink from the wine, completely not realizing what any of it is. And it just sort of leaned back slightly. This is comfy.
Kendall?
Huh?
Look around.
Oh,
You're
Oh.
on the sacrifice area.
I mean,
Read the room. It says red rum.
it's probably fine. Like, nobody who's about to walk in is going to sacrifice me, I don't think.
Unless we don't know the group as well as we thought we did.
Holtarn walks in.
Kendall stands up.
This is definitely a design choice.
Does anything about the design scream to me specifics about what this room was for, other than
Uh,
obviously demonic sacrifice and summoning?
Roll me Arcana or religion.
He does that.
I'll
I'll-
roll that.
I'm just gonna straight up cast detect
21.
magic.
So detect magic picks up conjuration from the mirror at the back of the room.
Okay, hand goes immediately to heavy blade.
Okay. It's my chocolate.
Oh,
Kendall's like, it's always the one you don't suspect as she moves further away from the altar. Goes up against the wall.
are you standing in front of the mirror?
No, it's not. You know, it is a
Just line
mirror.
of sight.
That is, yeah, yep.
It is a mirror, so probably.
Kendall, step away from that mirror.
Why?
It's magical. Believe. Something can be summoned from it.
Then she stops and she quickly turns around. Really? And starts looking at it closer.
Got 21 on my Arcana.
Kendall.
You imagine this room is for both summoning and communion, and you only realize that as the surface of the mirror begins to swirl.
I was legitimately not expecting that.
Yeah, Like,
Mistel's
whatever
like
you do,
pulling on
nobody
the
asked her
collar
about
of
the
Kendall's
Candyman.
outfit, trying to like pull her back.
You can tell Varouche has no children because his approach to this was basically, now I want you to ignore that because it's very interesting.
well, no,
Pretty
he was
much.
he said that as he was walking towards.
with a knife, with a weapon out,
Yeah, in Kendall's mind, it was why you don't want the blood on the mirror.
right? Why is it protective
So,
magic?
someone is apparently calling us. Collect.
Well,
from
yeah,
whatever.
as the mirror swirls,
You hear a phone ringing sound?
Oh!
you eventually it darkens and shifts.
That don't
And
look good.
you are eventually left with a side profile, almost as if this mirror is connected to a mirror that is sitting off to someone's side and like not in like view of importance, as if it's almost an afterthought for them. And you're presented with a side profile of a very familiar dark-skinned hooded figure that you've
Damn it, he
seen
said his name.
once in a vision. As As
Killing
a
us,
darkened
right?
hood looks over to the side, and you see crimson eyes peering out from a shadowed surface.
I didn't do it.
Ah, I see the poor emperor has been deposed.
Is
What
this the same-
fools now seek my attention?
I-
Suppose. Was it? Why is
I
that word sound
slap
familiar?
Kendall's hand.
is this the same figure that killed us in the vision?
Yes, this is the exact same figure from that vision.
I attack the mirror.
Ah,
I slap your hand
Beast.
back. Rude.
Despite the fact that Varouche did not nod at the mirror.
That's well, I miss probably because I got a 10, but
I mean, it's a stationary object. However, your
It's a
attack
mirror.
does not appear to face the mirror.
Ah!
It's a magic
as a
mirror,
bunch of bees narrowly miss Kendall and slam into the mirror.
It's a magic mirror. You're not going to damage it.
He's not here, Beast. Calm down.
Kendall now scooches her ass away from the mirror now that she's become the target of attacks.
Zerathrax, is that your armor I see? What has become of you, my old foe?
What?
Wait,
Does
what?
that name mean anything?
Yeah.
Nope, not to any of you.
Cool.
Even with my level or my 18 religion?
Nope.
Okay. I was.
What did you call them? That's not their name.
Stab the mirror.
I don't know if it was very clear who he called what.
I would like to insight check the insects.
He definitely
would-
said that to someone in the room. He's just sort
I
of
was gonna
looking
say
out
I
the
would
mirror.
like to insight check the mirror what the mirror just said. Right.
roll insight if you
Didn't he
want.
say something? Never mind. I thought he said something about
23.
the armor. That's why I said that.
He did say something. He did say something about the armor. Yes.
Yeah, is that your old armor,
Well,
Zerathrax?
the only one of us who has old armor is Beast.
Your old armor isn't necessarily like old armor, just your old armor.
Craig, are
I
the
guess,
bees
but-
individually stabbing the
They're
mirror?
like if you've ever seen like a small group of them, basically the crossbow shot is essentially there. And if you've ever seen wasps trying to stab something that they can't penetrate, but that they think is prey, that's what they're doing over and over to the surface of the mirror.
Okay, Mistel's like flying over there and she's trying to grab like each individual bee and like gather them in her arms and like pull them away from Mirror of Death.
They are, I think, so they will struggle, but when they realize that it's Mistel grabbing them, they're not going to sting Mistel, but they are trying to. You know what? Let me roll a will save. Wisdom.
With a 20, with a 23 insight. What was your insight for, Kendall?
I was insight checking bees.
Okay.
to
B
see
seems to be in a
if
state
they
of panic.
More of, did anything about what was just said even register?
I don't think that I correct me if I'm wrong, Craig, but I don't think bees even heard what was said in their blind panic.
No,
Okay.
but yeah, bees was in a blind panic and it straight up didn't even hear that. I think I rolled a 21 on a wisdom save. I think they are realizing what's one, they're not going to hurt the mirror, and two, that Mistel was trying to calm them down. So the bees are sort of stopping. Some of them are staying sort of like nestled around Mistel, and the others are flying back towards the hive armor.
With the 21 insight from Till, putting together a number of different things that you have heard and seen over the past few weeks, referring to Zerathrax's old armor, you sort of piece together you also remember the statement that he said, whatever has happened to you, my old enemy. So you know that whoever the Zerathrax is not a friend of this demon.
Mm-hmm.
And B, it's probably referring to whatever is underneath the layers of crap adorning Bees' armor.
Which Till is the only one to have gotten a good look at.
Yeah.
So I
Yep.
mean that
Mm-hmm.
probably helps.
So as several of us are like freaking out in different ways, I'll just sort of like maneuver more towards a more central location where I feel like someone who was talking with this mirror would actually stand.
Mm-hmm.
So, you had a two-way communication with the emperor of an isolated planet who spent his downtime hybridizing fiends. Seems an odd choice.
He was indeed something of a mild distraction for myself. He served his purpose. I understand he was slain by the fact that someone else is now using his device.
You grasp the situation accurately, yes. The man who formerly spoke with you through this is gone. I'm just sort of seeing. I'm trying. I'm rather than from what he's saying based on his reaction, how much he cares about that fact.
Roll insight.
Natural one. I can't tell shit.
You're pretty certain. You're pretty certain that he thought this emperor was his Tamagotchi.
Yeah. God damn it! I forgot to feed it.
Can I do an insight check as well to see if he's amused or
Sure.
22?
You're definitely getting a sense of mild amusement. Like it's very much the sort of, oh, this guy is dead. Oh well, I guess he had it coming. He was be kind of an idiot.
Okay.
What's the name of the scientist again?
Oh God, I said it once and did not write it down.
I did Professor Leiden.
Leiden, that was it.
Yeah.
He did.
Well, yes, the Emperor is gone. However, it does seem that the good Professor Leiden's practices continue on.
Ah, that one actually had promise, unlike his figurehead.
Hmm.
I wish him good luck.
So,
What business have you with me?
None. This is entirely accidental.
Who
I
exactly
see.
would we be speaking to?
If you must know. As I have to try and dig through my notes to find this guy's actual name way earlier than I thought I was going to. Actually, because it's almost 9 our time, this will be a good point to take a break while I get my notes in order.
All right. If you're watching
Fair.
live on Twitch, please stay tuned for these commercial messages. And remember, when we take our break, you take your break. So stand up, stretch your legs, get a drink, grab some food, whatever you need to do. And we'll be back in just a few minutes. We're back. A dinosaur story.
Yes, welcome back. As we left off, someone had just asked his name. And he responds, "You must know. You stand before the demon lord, Distagmos Zatran."
It's a bit of a mouthful. Can we call you Zag?
I was literally just about to say that.
What about Ziggy?
Ooh.
I think that
Zaggy?
fits you better.
Ziggy Devil Dust.
Don't talk to it.
Ziggy Zaggy?
With bees.
All of you are just adorable.
I know I am.
We
Yeah.
try to be.
To it.
Yeah. It's a blessing and a curse, really.
Ooh. I recognize you.
You gotta do way more
The
specific, 'cause
child of
it's, yeah.
Faircalled.
Excuse me, we prefer to be called Fairchild.
Your father's industry is well known even across dimensional barriers.
Oh, really? Cool. Yeah, no, he does a lot of shipping out all over the place. So that makes sense.
Shipping is an excellent euphemism for what he does.
It's what he. Never mind. Anyways, feel like you're not saying that as a compliment, so just fine. You're kind of a jerk anyway.
I am amused by being confronted with the samples of mortality that populate the galaxy as it is today.
Amused enough that you're sitting and look at really. It's the room that he's in looks like it's fairly dark, or is it just that we can't see anything but him?
You can hardly see anything but him, basically, and like you're at a side profile of what looks to be a seat that he's sitting on.
Yeah.
And like it's very clear that this mirror is not in a place of importance wherever it's sitting next to him.
I mean, you don't look amused sitting in a dark room by yourself.
You look lonely.
You need a friend.
Oh, I'm very lonely. I could always use more friends.
Stop talking
See,
to
when
it.
you say it like that, you say it like you say it in a way that makes me feel like I need to take a shower, and that's not okay.
You wouldn't happen to be in possession of a certain box that disappeared from under my nose, would you?
No, I don't have any boxes.
Not particularly, no. Is there? So looking at the mirror while we've been talking, and while Bees has been trying to stop us from talking, is there like a distinct? Can I determine if there's a distinct mechanism for how this thing turns on and off?
It's magic.
Yeah, but there's was it Kindle touching it that turned it on? Was it just us being in the room that turned it on? Does it turn on of its own will? Like
I don't think I actually touched it.
She just stood in front of it and looked into it.
Yeah. In Kendall's defense, she did not touch the obvious trap.
I rolled a natural
on
one.
the wall. Start the
Okay,
Skype
fair.
call for us all.
I need to. I don't know why I'm rolling natural ones tonight, but that's the second one in a row. I need it to stop.
But Jack also seemed to roll the same Arcana.
Yep. Yeah.
So
No. Till. As soon as he said fair call, Till's like, okay, we need connection ASAP would be good.
Jack or Till, you sort of looking around and you can see that there is from behind a like as you look at it from a different angle, you can see there's what appears to be a glowing gem embedded in the back of the mirror that seems to act like a power source, and you're fairly certain if you pull that out, the mirror loses its energy.
Yeah, he's just gonna kind of sidle up and approach from the wall, like, not quite Crunk style, but he's kind of crab walking towards it, and then just yoink as soon as he can.
But If you do find it, please give my dear connection cuts.
And Till's just standing there with the crystal in his
You
hand.
didn't let him finish.
Oh, did you do that?
Thank you.
Good
Sure
job,
did.
Till.
The bees just swarm Till, and it's like those county fair pictures where somebody suddenly has like a bee beard, but it's like all over.
Bees.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I think you're
welcome.
scaring Toby's.
You're
It's like-
welcome.
It's like you're being hugged all over by very small things.
Like a million hugs from lightning bugs, kind of.
From 10,000 lightning bugs.
Yeah.
Anyway.
1,000 hugs from 10,000 lightning bugs. Anyways.
Anyway. You know, I'm paraphrasing because this is our setting. Absolutely. In fact, Till kind of looks at the crystal in his hand. Is there anything particularly special about it? Or is it sparking? Or is it just like kind of crystal power source? Boop.
I mean,
As you look at it, you're pretty certain you can hear distant screams from inside of it.
Oh, okay. He's not going to give that to bees then.
I'm approaching it and you.
Can you give this to Coltarn, please? That might need some sequestering.
You're saying that to bees?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take a look at it. Do I want to touch it?
And it looks odd and familiar, but not like in a heebie-jeebie
Happy
kind
way.
of way.
Oh, okay, but not in the I don't want to have anything to do with this kind of way.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Bees will take it and fly it over to Coltarn, and
Thank you,
some of them let go of Till.
Okay.
I'll take it to Jim, walk
Just
up to the mirror,
off the face, please. Just a little.
Yeah.
The dip airway. Thank you.
pull up a data pad, go through. I'm gonna take 10 minutes and ritual cast. I can't ritual cast, right? I'm not a ritual caster.
No, you ain't.
I need to take a feat for that. I'm going to scan. Use the data pad to scan the gem and the mirror if I can do that in one. If not, the gem and then the mirror. Let me know if I'm spending one or two spells.
Those will be
once.
two separate identifications.
Right, so gem and then the mirror.
The gem is a soul crystal. It is exactly what it sounds like. It is a gem that can store souls.
Okay.
The mirror is a dimensional mirror. It is a communication device that can cross dimensional boundaries to communicate between mirrors that are linked to it.
Okay, so but only mirrors that are linked to it. So like it would have had to have been specifically linked to
Yeah.
that mirror. The soul crystal, is it like the kind of thing that can be used for like a ship battery, like the fuel source, like as an alternate fuel source, or is it only like for powering small things?
It could theoretically be used as a ship fuel source, although powering a ship with souls is
a very fiendish thing to do. Yeah, I'm not saying
Yeah.
I'm going to. I'm just asking. Like, I'm trying to get a scale of like power valuability here.
Well, the thing is, souls are sort of a universal power source. They have a very broad spectrum of application. It's just a matter of the cost of acquiring them.
But I noticed, John, that you didn't say you're not doing it.
I mean, I didn't kill the people. I'm just making use of the things that were created from their souls. So just after a few minutes. Well, I feel like this was a little bit more important than he let on. This, pointing at the giant mirror, is a dimensional communicator. It's designed to be able to communicate across dimensions at no matter the distance, but it has to be paired or linked with another one, which is an awful lot of effort to go through on a planet that's completely isolated from anything else in the galaxy if you're doing it just for shits and giggles. This, holding up the gem, is a soul stone or a soul crystal. Basically, a battery that runs on the souls of the dead.
Wait, there's people in that?
Yes. Hold it up to my
How-
ear.
So
How do we get
Probably
them
a-
out?
Probably a few thousand. Do I know how to destroy it?
Sufficiently powerful magic item, basically.
Would that
Would that-
release the souls or just consume them?
Who knows?
Yeah. So,
And
a sufficient-
So, scale of 1 to jumping in the ice water butt naked. How stupid would it be to grab this mirror off the wall and like wrap it up or something so we could like have that line of communication?
Very stupid.
Yeah. we
It
don't want
doesn't
that
sound
one.
like a good idea.
actually,
I mean,
it would not be a bad thing to keep at hand.
Yes, it would.
Ooh,
Gideon,
Add
your
it to
mom
our
has raised you
creepy
better.
collection.
Having a means to have a direct line of communication with our ultimate foe I can see many situations where that would be useful.
that's all I'm
Say to him.
saying.
Well, nothing at the moment, but you never know what might arise in the future.
We might be able to get information from him later, which is why if we keep it covered, I would assume. I mean, I would imagine that it wouldn't just activate on its own. And
Well, it was being powered by this, so as long as we don't put it back in, it shouldn't be able to turn back on. Though, again, not that I would necessarily want to talk to him right now, but say, for instance, at some point in the future, we need to fight him, and we're trying to find a method to lure him into a trap. Well, there's no more surefire method of getting a line of communication to him than a mirror that's linked to something next to his throne.
already linked, literally linked.
Alternatively,
Question.
Alternatively, it could also be turned into a portal of some kind, given sufficiently advanced magic and/or technology.
Question. If you have to use this as a lure, possibly eventually,
like this.
put yourselves in this fiend's position. Would you show up to a bunch of shit-talking teenagers?
Which is why we need to not be shit talking teenagers when we do that.
Well, it depends.
We need to have something that's actually going to lure him and something that actually makes him believe we're a threat.
If we have something that will actually lure him, we don't need this.
Well,
This is
Not necessarily.
to answer your question, would I, if I were in his position, would I show up to what was essentially a group of shit-talking teenagers? It depends on exactly how much shit they're talking and how much I want to stop them from doing it or correct their incorrect perspectives. So, potentially, yes. Understand, Varush, fiends are not always creatures that act logically. Sometimes they act because they feel like it. And having a means to manipulate that tendency is not a bad thing to have, if possible.
You orc-splaining fiends to a
To the guardian who protects against fiends.
One would hope.
I just believe that this is more of a risk than any possible benefit we could gain. Yes, there are situations where it could be a benefit, but can you?
It was just a question, dude. I'm not saying we have to do it.
I understand, but and I'm voicing my concerns.
Yes. And they are valid concerns, Varush, to be clear. I'm simply pointing out reasons why it might be useful to keep around, not saying that that is the ultimate decision we should make. Again,
Anyway, it sounds like everybody else is pretty much against it, so.
That's fair. I like to make sure that the full amount of potentials and potential gains and losses are known before the decision is made. So
I say that its primary value is probably selling it to somebody else.
What?
very valuable in the
No.
secondhand market.
Can
Yeah,
you
but
unpair it from something?
That sounds like an even worse idea.
And that, thank you.
With the identify, with what I gained from the identify spell, could I unlink it from wherever it's linked to?
Probably not without knowing the ritual used to link it.
It's possible, but I don't know the ritual that would be needed.
I mean, I'd say its primary value is it's actually a pretty good mirror.
I mean, yeah, it is like a full length mirror.
I'm
Like,
not saying take it with us. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying if we're talking about what it's good for now, without
Yeah, you could-
souls.
Yeah, you
Currently,
could
Put a
just sell
pin
it
in
as
that
you could
is-
just sell it as a mirror. That's very true.
Currently, though, it's
No.
inert where it's at, and if we need it, we know where it is, and we can always come back and get it if we need to. But don't we have to go find a laboratory with a little more impetus and urgency right
Yes.
now, Miss Fairchild?
So I've got a question.
Mm-hmm.
So this mirror is in this room and it's meant for communication.
Mm-hmm.
With who?
The Emperor was the implication.
Okay.
He was also aware of the scientists, so at least those two.
Which is why this is the next room. I'd like to look in for any signs of fucked geometry. I'm looking for secret doors.
I'm from the natural order, so if you're talking about geometry used in fucking, there's quite a list.
No, fucked geometry, not geometry used
Oh,
in fucking.
right. All right.
roll investigation.
This time, let's not roll a 1.
Give you a hand.
2.
Oh, are you aiding? Are you aiding?
I
me,
will
Bruce?
aid you. Yes, we will look for
Hey.
secret doors together.
With advantage at 2.
Natural
Go.
20.
There you go.
Also, I do not hide the fact that I pull out a metal contain like a lead lined container of some kind and put that gem into it and close it off and put it into the bag.
Which bag?
My bag. The one that has all of my potion making kit and shit in it.
Wait, did you
When you're not
vocalize
supposed to
that
touch
as soul
bees.
crystal?
What was that?
Did you vocalize that it was run
Yeah,
by
yeah, no,
souls?
I said that it's a soul crystal, and I don't know if I finished the sentence, but he would have finished the sentence. There are ways to destroy it. They require sufficiently magical items, which I don't know that we have any of at the moment, except for one that we're not using. And I'm not certain if doing so would actually free the souls inside or simply consume them.
Also, there's like a 0% chance that leaving that thing here is a good idea.
Yeah, no, we're taking this with us. This is
The
not
mirror
something-
you can
saying,
leave. The crystal,
in
nah.
Yeah, the crystal's
Yeah,
not
that-
something
that's-
you leave laying around.
I was just saying in case somebody else was going to suggest that.
We're taking it to try to let everybody inside it go, right?
If possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the very least, we're taking it to keep it out of the hands of people who will do much worse with it than leave it in a case.
And we're not going to use it for anything, right?
No.
So long as using it for
Not if there's a
anything-
chance of letting
Yeah.
letting everybody out of it.
Yes.
I want to hear Coltarn say he's not going to use it for anything.
I have no intentions
did.
of using it.
That's not the same thing. What if it's a situation like before with the box?
I can't predict what I will do with future information. No one
Then
should
you
try, because then that'll just make you a liar in the future.
Then you should
To be fair, okay, but Beast, for the record, with the box, I would like to point out we were in a pretty fucked position when we had to open that box.
Right.
And
but-
we'd like to point out again, there's worse things than dying.
You're
To you,
You're
certainly.
right. And the what happened before being what happened before, sure, whatever. I gotta say I'm kind of with bees on this one. I am a real hard no vote on the idea of in any situation just killing people, their souls, for any purpose whatsoever.
Well, then you're in luck, because they're already dead.
I think what
Their
Kendall's saying
souls, it's
is
different. That's what I'm
unless
saying.
unless it comes down to the fact that literally the only way to destroy this thing is to burn it up and eliminate the souls that are inside it. Until we find out that that is our only option, we're not going to use it for anything as long as there's a chance that we can free the entities with it, which is, I believe, also the same page that Coltarn is on currently.
Yes, as I said, I have no intention of using this for anything. I will not, however, lie to you and say that I can predict what I will do in the future with future information.
And you want to hold it.
I'm just putting it into a case and into a bag. You all can decide who wants to hold it later.
Yes, let's continue on through this.
We want to.
Yeah, we do kind of have more important things to get into.
We can talk while we walk.
Would you
We
like
wanna
to hold
it?
I put it in the case and I toss it to bees.
It disappears into the hive armor.
I will say, though, bees.
As we walk. Oh, never mind.
I will say,
Go
though,
ahead.
bees, while to you there are worse things than death and you would gladly rather die, do not presume to make that decision for others. Because for others, death is the worst thing, and you don't get to make that choice for them.
The hive armor stops and it turns around, and maybe for the first time you get the impression that you have the attention of the hive armor as well as the bees around it. And the voice of the bees say, "We talked about this. We make decisions based on emergencies. That's what you did, and that's what you said we'll do in the future. So when that decision comes up, if we're the ones to make the decision, we'll do what you did." And they
This is
turn
less of
around
a-
and keep walking.
This is less of an action and more of a priority scale, but certainly bees.
Bill will sort of usher. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was
go
going to
ahead,
say,
Jeremy.
for the
'cause-
first time ever, Kendall's like right fucking next to bees.
Yeah, I
Not
was
like, not in like a but just like they're sort of supportive almost, shockingly.
Till's right next to Kendall and turns towards bees as well. Do we want to talk about Zerathrax, bees?
Camille, we can't hear anything over.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Just let
No
you know.
worries. You're fine.
Bees, do you want to talk? Should we talk about Zerathrax while we walk?
What?
Zerathrax. The name that the figure used to reference who used to wear that armor.
I think as we established, this is the first time that Beast has actually come.
Yes, that's why Till is like giving a delineation there.
What if anything does hearing that name make me think of or feel or anything like that?
Roll a charisma save.
Not my strong suit. A nice meaty even 10.
Perfectly average.
There's a stirring somewhere within the core of this armor that recognizes that name, and you're not certain whether it is actually part of you, part of the armor, or somewhere in between. But there is a primal recognition of the name Zerathrax.
We think we've heard it somewhere before.
All right. Well, if you're interested, depending on where we end up, we can look into that further if you want to know more.
What did the thing in the mirror say?
Well, it seemed to consider Zerathrax the former owner of that armor, and that Zerathrax was an enemy of the thing in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
With some tenure. Seemed like they had a lot of history going back of being in opposition to each other.
Yeah.
They're probably dead then. If we have the armor now.
Probably safe to assume, but you never know.
Do you think maybe they left it in the swamp sometime and maybe we need to find them?
Is that where you found it?
That's where we always were. It made a good hive. It still does.
When you
They
first
can't have it
started-
back though. If we find it, they can't have it back.
Okay. When you first started building the hive in there, can you remember back that far? Were there also like bones in there or anything like that?
Do I remember anything like that, William?
Like
Can
the vaguest memory was that the armor was empty.
Okay.
When the
Yeah,
bees began
I
to
think
hive it.
I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, William, but I think that's still from the period of time, sort of before sentient thought.
Yeah.
So Bees is a little quiet and said, we don't think so. Sometimes we build hives in bones. We just find good places for the hive, and this was a good place.
And it's possible we don't know anything about Zarathrax. They might have been an ethereal.
Lots of things on Nocturna eat bones.
Or they might have had a body and that was gone by the time you found the armor.
Maybe.
But like I said, if you want to learn more, we can find books or records or something and see if anybody knows anything about who used to wear that, if you want.
We don't have to give the armor back to them, do we?
Especially not if they're dead,
No.
probably not.
Okay.
I'll
guess.
totally help.
I guess so. I guess maybe if
We're
they
not
fought,
not going to make you lose your home, Bees. All right.
if they fought that thing in the armor. I mean, if they fought that thing in the mirror, maybe we should find out. Maybe they were on Nocturna looking for something. Maybe we should go back.
Our path might lead us that direction. We'll have to see.
Okay.
But we have to finish this job first, right?
Right.
All right.
Okay. Till, if you want to find out more, I guess that's okay.
Thank you.
And it's about then, with the natural 20 investigation, with the 8, that Coltarn pulls on one of these braziers and
Oh, right.
twists it.
I would also be using my scanner, which detects technological devices in 30 feet of me.
Yeah. And you twist one of these braziers, and the wall sort of clunks inward and slides aside, revealing a descending staircase.
And there we have the secret door.
Anything that uses electricity to power itself.
Okay, specifically electricity. Okay, all right.
Or magic in the case of Magitech, but yeah.
Yeah, like
Right.
anything that uses a power source.
Anything that has an energy source to it.
Like for instance, I
beyond
know.
just-
For instance, I know where that soul crystal is.
Right, exactly.
My scanner picks up the soul crystal.
Oh, hey, excellent. Good job, Varush.
It was cool time, but
Good job, both of you.
I will head down first though, and I pull the shield that I just bought off and just start like riot shielding down just in case.
Yep.
William, normally it requires a short rest to reassign my infusions. Would you say waiting for them while they were getting tattoos would have qualified long enough for me to reassign my repeating infusion to the Colbrack?
Probably, yeah.
All right.
Cool, bracket.
So now I've got a Colbrack that never runs out of ammo.
Yeah.
Does that mean it can't jam, William?
Oh, no, it can still jam.
Okay.
But guns that jam here are not medieval fantasy guns. They don't just break. They can very easily be cleared.
Yeah.
Well,
How big's a Cobrak again?
Think Blood Pack Executioner from Mass
D10.
Effect 3.
It's a D10, right? Yeah.
Yeah, D10.
Yeah.
all right. Well, let's see what's down this imposing hallway.
What's a staircase for one?
Hooray.
As you descend the stairs, it
We all
begins to
die.
get dark very quickly, which makes those of you who got dark vision grafted onto you experience it for the first time. As you see the world in various shades of gray.
Oh,
But
wicked.
can make out everything.
I know, right? I can see the whole.
Oh,
Oh, is that what your tattoos do?
Among other things.
As you can see that, like, there's
and
an
Till just
ever-
sort of walks up the ceiling and off across the. He does a quick spiral in the hallway.
Congratulations.
Till, when'd you learn that?
At the tattoo shop.
Wow, I just looked at pictures.
Uh-huh.
How many?
Maybe you'll get that armor upgraded then, eh?
How many of you can now see in the dark?
But I always could.
I
Always
know you
could
Kendall.
too.
I didn't know you could, Mistel, but glad to hear it now. So
I could.
So Till, Gideon, and Varush can now see in the dark.
Indeed.
Everyone beat the bees, I think.
correct.
Well, word of advice from one who's been seeing in the dark for their whole life: be wary of suddenly bright lights.
It's all right.
Appreciate the warning.
Do we want a faint light?
Do you need a light, bees?
It might be helpful. Bees like scrapes along the wall.
As a reminder, as it's descending into pitch darkness, those of you with dark vision have disadvantage on perception checks because it treats darkness as dim light.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is why having light is still useful for people with dark vision because it gets rid of the disadvantage on perception.
Can I, with my the right tool for the job ability, produce a light source?
Let me very quickly reread the right tool for the job.
Till's got a flashlight if we need it.
Is that a craftsman thing or a?
No, it's artificer. It's level 3 artificer.
Level
You
3
learn how to
artificer.
produce exactly the tool you need with these tools or artisan's tools. You can magically create one set of artisan's tools in an unoccupied space within 5 feet of you. Never mind. It requires an hour of uninterrupted work. Never mind.
Yeah.
I can also just like magical tinkering a light source if I need to.
And it's like I can just keep throwing eldritch blasts down the hallway. It's a small amount of light.
I feel like that's just going to be worse.
Till just pulls out his electric lantern flashlight and goes click. There.
Or that works
Thank
too.
you.
This one doesn't require nearly as much talking and gesturing.
The bees will start to glow with their natural luminescence.
Hell yeah. Also valid. Well
It
done.
It is,
Yeah.
unless I'm doing a magical version, it's basically a torch. It's
Yep.
just our butts.
Well, in that case, we only need the one light source. So, just in case it becomes relevant.
The group of you continue down into the darkness.
The dark.
And eventually find yourselves stepping into the sewers beneath the city.
Scanner going constantly, by the way.
Mhm. As you look around, you can see there's a grate that blocks off this particular section of the sewers from like the main sewers proper.
Mhm.
And then on one side, and then on the other side, there is a series of sewage tunnels that just continues further on and seems to delve deeper into the earth beneath.
So really quickly, I'm again pulling up the scanner because it's integrated into the entire like power arm thing that I've got going on my right arm. I can also use it to determine whether or not a unique construct or device has been present in the air within the last hour. I'm specifically right now looking for technology similar to the arm in my bag, and that's what I'm using as a basis for this person's technology. So if any of that's been in this
Well,
area,
a unique piece of technology would be something in particular that you know of.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to see if that kind of arm specifically had been there, like another hybrid soldier specifically.
We'll go with that for now. So like technology in general in a 30-foot in a 30-yard radius, and also we'll say a feed that particular type of hybrid soldier within the last hour at any given time. And that's just an action, so I can just keep firing that scanner off.
Yeah. And you don't sense any technology, and you don't sense that a hybrid trooper has been anywhere nearby within the past hour.
Yeah, unless we get into a combat, I just assume that I'm firing that off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the guy that plays the action RPG by constantly spamming the magic echolocation button.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Sense
Bring,
life.
bring,
Sense
bring,
life.
bring,
Sense
bring,
life.
bring.
Sense life. Sense life. Right. Yep.
Always using the ping button.
Yeah,
Yep.
always using eagle vision.
Yeah.
I've never seen colors in an Assassin's Creed game because I'm always in eagle vision.
Wait, that's a color game?
Or perhaps even more direct, you're in detective mode in the
Yeah.
Arkham game.
In the Arkham games. Yeah. Yep.
That's a color game?
Not for me.
I mean, color beyond like blue.
Only in the combat sections.
Oh, that's right. Those exist.
Blue with yellow skeletons.
Yeah, I like to stay in it in those because then I feel like I'm fighting spooky skeletons.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers
But yeah.
down your spine.
Till will just be half a step in front of Kendall pretty much the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Until there's something interesting up ahead and she face steps ahead of you.
Is there any
A step is just her version of not being as fast as Till is most of the time.
Is there anything that points us in a specific direction for as far as the tunnels on this side of the grate go?
There's only one way to go on this side of the
Okay. Well, in that case, Baruch, if you'd like to lead the way.
And
Oh, Cody's having internet problems, it sounds like.
Uh-oh. Frozen.
Yeah, consider we just lost him in the roll 20.
Cody's internet has gone bye-bye. Varush leads the way, William.
Yeah.
I like
Okay,
to
there we go.
imagine. There we
Right?
go.
yeah,
We have
maybe.
Nope.
no,
but-
there you go. A little
Yeah,
bit.
there you are.
I think we're back. I think we're
You're
back.
no longer a stop motion figure, so
Oh, damn it. No. No.
it was kind of
Um,
funny because you went like from this to this to this, and it's like, he's doing a Brian David Gilbert impersonation.
Yeah, no, I will lead the way. Are we going further down or is the grate movable?
Well, the group would seem to be.
Or
The grate is like a bar, like separating
Okay.
the sections of the sewer.
okay. Then further down.
It allows liquid through and not
Yes.
much else.
All right.
This should lead us somewhere interesting. That was a communication chamber the Emperor used. This is a secret passageway leading underneath. I'm willing to bet it connects to wherever they dumped off their fiends, and likely wherever our scientist left a lab. Or may still occupy it.
They said they didn't find the scientist, right? Am I remembering that correctly?
They did not find his body.
Or his lab.
Yeah.
Probably still down there crafting abominations. Let's go see if we can stop that. Quietly.
So,
Go quietly. Stop it loudly, probably.
So you continue on. if people would like to move quietly, go ahead and roll me stealth checks.
I would like that very much, please.
I mean, I'll
18.
roll a stealth check. It's not gonna be any good considering I'm a large orc. in
Well,
armor.
that rolled from an 18 to a 4, so I have an 11.
Mistel's invisible.
Okay, I think I'm back.
Nice.
Kendall's just obliviously walking along with lots of heel clicking.
Oh, yeah.
Roll a stealth check, Varush.
All right.
Wait, no, hang on. Why does that say heavy armor? I'm wearing a chain. I'm wearing scale mail.
Scale
Because
mail is
scale mail
heavy
imposes
armor.
it.
It does impose scale mail's medium armor, but it still imposes the.
Well,
heavy
yeah,
armor
in terms
advantage.
of heavy armor is just what it uses to say you have disadvantage.
7.
I like to think it's less the scale mail and more toolbar right behind me. Oh, I should roll stealth for toolbar. Skitter toolbar.
Tolbar get like a 24.
I would have had Tolbar offer to hold onto the soul crystal, but again, he's aware of people's biases towards created beings.
Not really in this group though.
I mean, he's specifically avoided testing it. Normal.
My roll didn't register, so I'm gonna roll.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's this loud in the center clunk clunk clunk, and then Tolbar is like walking along the ceiling like
Right.
out.
Oh,
Like Coltarn's very loud, and Tolbar is just the scarf that he's now wearing is muffled all the sound, so it's just dead silence.
I like to think that Kendall has the bottom of her now empty wine bottle, and she's just, you know how kids will drag a stick along a picket fence.
Yeah.
She's doing that with the bottle along the grate.
That's why Kendall.
17 for me, William.
That's why Kendall and I are making the same amount of noise.
Right, exactly.
It's just that mine's the armor and equipment.
So your stealth check is
success.
Not great.
I wasn't even gonna. No, it's less than half good.
Yeah.
Not great.
1, 2,
Very much
This is
not
the part where I
great.
really kick myself for not taking Pass Without a Trace.
Right? Pass Without a Trace is
on,
one
well,
of the
we're-
best spells.
We're
I'm
4 and 4 as far as good to bad.
We don't know what the DC is.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. But I mean, 4 of us got above a 15 and 4 of us got below a 15. So
and the DC is 20.
I'll be honest, Tolbar weighs a little bit less in that regard because he is the NPC.
I mean, yeah, fair.
Also
He's-
fair.
He's sentient.
And I feel like in terms of being sneaky, I feel like Ty should go to the loss
Yeah.
I mean, generally.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
as
Absolutely.
opposed to like trying to distract someone or something like that.
Yeah.
So, as you're walking, you have enough of a light source, and most of you have dark vision. So, as you continue to go down, this pathway is fairly straight for a while, and you're sort of wondering how this is supposed to be protected from anything. As you once anyone finds the passage, there's only one way to go that leads wherever it's going. And then you hear a click and a whir, and I need everyone to make a dex save.
Shit.
Okie dokie.
I hate click words. Those are the worst. That's why I use them in all my videos.
Oh, Mistle.
No.
Good
She
thing you
had
got
such a high stealth.
Good
Do
thing
we
you
all
have
Wow.
Maybe
And
making it-
Gideon. Jeez.
Hey,
My guy. My
Yes, all of
dude.
us. All of us have to make it.
Yes, I believe I know what Cody is trying to say, and yes, you do all benefit from his aura.
Ah,
Oh,
so plus
is
4.
that an
to
extra
all your rolls.
D4?
Extra
No, it's
plus
just
four.
plus 4.
Oh, okay.
Pretty close.
And Kendall. Jesus.
Oh, Kendall. You know, this makes sense because Mistel was on Kendall's shoulder.
Right, yeah.
To be
The
fair,
plus
I didn't
four.
fail. I just didn't roll well.
With a +4, then Till's there with a fucking 30.
Bill just leaps up in the air and then looks down as like a blade comes across.
Right.
And like there's half an eladrin now.
Thank you, Zoom, for letting me know my internet connection is unstable. Like I didn't know.
I
Like,
got a,
really? Are you sure?
I got a 14. I only got a 14 because of Varouche.
The DC was 15.
Tolbar got an 18.
So everyone who's total with Varouche's aura involved is less than a 15. Takes 20 points of ballistic damage. Everyone who succeeds takes half.
Unless you have evasion, you take none or half.
If you have evasion, you take none, but I don't think anyone has evasion yet.
Not yet. That's next level.
Question.
Oh.
Where is this coming from?
To the
I'm so looking forward to that.
I was describing as a pair of as you hear a click and a whir, and from the sides of the tunnel, a pair of heavy machine gun turrets, like double linked Gatling guns on both sides, flip out of the wall and just spray the entirety of the tunnel.
I would like, as my reaction.
Oh, Varouche's shield grants half cover for whatever that's worth.
To him, unfortunately.
Oh, okay, just me. All right.
Yeah.
I just thought since I was in the front, maybe.
To vanish in a puff of mist.
Okay.
Go 30 feet up, just instinctually, and I am invisible now.
And then you fall.
I'm not saying it was the smart move. I'm saying it was the
How
instinctual.
tall
fucking
is
move.
this tunnel?
It's fairly tall. Like there's enough room to go 30 feet up.
Oh God.
No,
Well,
not up. Straight.
Okay, you said
okay.
up, which is why.
30
Yeah, I
feet
think all
up,
of us pictured
30 feet further up the tunnel.
Further in progression.
Yeah,
down.
okay. I
Or,
like
or
you.
I could go 30 feet in the air. That would be fun too.
Yeah, like you
Even if
said, you said up, and my brain went. So you teleport 30 feet directly up, and then fall 30 feet.
You know
down.
what? She's acting on instinct. I
I feel like instinct for her is not up in the air, though.
don't. You
What-
see how many people fly around her?
What happens to Mistel?
Okay,
Who
forward.
was on your shoulder?
I
drop.
don't think I can carry you with me on
Okay.
this. There is something where I can, but that requires me actually using, I think, my bonus action. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you guys are getting along okay now,
I am
but you're
punching
not
a
bonus
machine
action
gun.
friends or anything.
If I could bonus action teleport at this point, I would.
Yeah, I'd say it's a little too fast for a bonus action.
Yeah.
if I'm taser punching the machine gun that's closest to me in the hopes that it will stop firing.
They fire until they run out of ammo and then stop, which is why it was the 20 damage.
Cool. I'm still taser punching it though. Just
You get the sense these haven't been maintained in a while, or they might have had more ammo on them.
well, that's parts for me, but also ow.
Thank you, Varouche.
Exactly 25% of Till's hit points.
Looking around
So
at
half if we made the save, right?
Yeah,
If you made the save, you take half.
What was the save?
15. You
Okay.
made it before you did anything.
so looking at everyone who's I just want to take a quick medicine check of the group and see who's the most fucked up.
If I may ask, just for sort of my own to inform B's actions and so on, is the aura from Varouche something of which we're aware consciously? Like, do we know that Varouche just kind of saved our ass, or
I instill confidence.
I mean,
I have no idea.
you didn't save our
as you're trying to duck bees, you can feel this like faint presence of a divine hand that feels almost like immaterial that just ever so faintly speeds you downward. You're not certain where it comes from unless you ask Farouche or he tells you, but you know that something helped you there.
Okay. Are you there, God? It's me, Beans.
So I don't know who's willing to tell me their health levels for a 10, but I am trying to see who's the most fucked up.
I mean, I would be more than happy to, but I'm invisible at the moment. I like the idea that there was just a hail of bullets. There's no a spatter of Eladrin blood on the ground, and it just poofed away and missed. So it's like it evaporated.
Yeah. So like my
That's
first instinct.
fair.
My first instinct is, where's Kendall?
Kendall?
Yeah, no, Till is immediately like for
Like
It
we've-
does
we've-
only last for about 6 seconds because I
Yeah.
become visible at the end of my next turn. I think.
So like
Or
a few seconds of panic pass, and then Kendall appears very bloodied because I think that was more than half your hit points.
I have 13 hit points left.
Out of how many?
33 because it was 20 damage.
Right, because you're only one hit point
Okay.
more than Tolbar. So I'm going to. Is anyone? I think you have the least amount of hit points out of the whole party.
I would
Don't you?
hope so.
I think so.
I believe
For
second.
God's
I believe.
sakes, I would hope that none of you are that low.
I believe second place is Mistle.
Mistel's at 24 right now. Help Kendall.
Yeah.
Bees look fine.
So I will first head over
That
towards
really-
Kendall.
That really hurt.
I imagine. I'm going to reach into. I'm going to reach into the bag on my back, pull out a vial of green liquid, shake it up, put it into an injector, and just into your arm.
Ow!
You'll feel better in a moment. As I inject you with my troll blood serum.
I
As soon as the game decides it wants to roll the thing. There it goes.
good news. I
Uh,
think most of what's gone is my actual blood, and what's left is just the alcohol. Because I'm not hurting nearly as much as I should be. I think.
So you get
Or that could be nerve damage. I'm not sure.
you get whatever that is back.
15.
You get 15
A-
hit points
a-
back.
as the wounds as the bullet holes in your body begin to very rapidly just spit out bullets and close
Your
Deadpool
tablet's
Wolverine
not charging
style.
because you keep touching.
And
That can't
I'll,
be comfortable.
I'll put a hand on your back and dump another 5 points of land hands to get you back up.
Okay, yep.
and
that
then-
that is just enough.
And then, so as that happens, the vial ejects out of the injector, catches it, puts it into the left hand side of the backpack, reaches to the right side, pulls out a second one, goes over to Mistle. Hold still.
Okay.
Miss Roll, are you okay?
Ow.
It's
I'm
much
fine.
smaller
Okay.
gauge needle for Mistle.
Sorry,
I
I
would
didn't
hope
mean
so.
to.
I thought you were dead for a second, Kendall.
Oh damn!
Yeah,
That's
no, I
almost
didn't-
the entire thing.
So 19
I
hit points
panicked.
back to Mistle.
Yay.
Wait, Mistle, how many total hit points do you have?
44.
Yeah, no, Till has less hit points than Mistle has. Till
Oh.
is not. Yeah, Mistle is not in second place. I
will
mean,
give-
he was at 30, but still, he only took 10 points of damage. So
does anyone want honey? I have 50 good berries.
well, yeah, but that's going to take you how long to produce?
No, I have them already.
He spent, he spent all
I
of his
made them-
spell slots last night.
Yeah,
Making good berries.
I only used one spell yesterday, and at the end of each day, I've established that bees
Yeah.
turns any.
Oh
of
yeah,
these
no,
spell slots into honey.
that's B's default. Yep.
Just
So-
be
Take 20 bees.
The problem
right.
there being that if you eat more than like 3 of those, you're just congested for a week.
That's what I'm saying.
Or,
You are gonna have
constipated for a week.
I was gonna say not congested.
You are-
The
you
other
are go-
thing.
you are gonna be blocked off forever. Because one of those is enough sustenance for a full day.
I mean, it's honey. It's very binding.
You're
Um,
you're gonna shit bricks.
Literally, they're gonna be building material by the time it gets out of you.
You are 100% like Pippin in Legion
Right.
of Glory. But anyway, okay, so 20 Gideon,
I could also use 20.
22 Coltarn. We got
That'll
10
get
more.
back to full.
What are you at? Till
Till will take 5 of them,
Okay.
assuming that that's able to be healthily consumed.
It is, but again, you're gonna shit bricks.
That's what I'm talking about in terms of health.
If you have more than one, it's gonna sit very badly. Like you'll get the healing, but there are 2 ways that eating more than one full day's worth of nutrients can go. Either you're going to be putting on an inordinate amount of weight from like the sheer caloric intake that you have just ingested, or it's all going to come right back out.
What I want to know is how does it adjust for the various differences in caloric intake for species? Because
Magic.
Coltarn and Varouche need a lot more calories than Till does.
He gives you a different amount of honey.
It's just it's a more massive ball of
the
honey.
weird thing is it's always a fistful.
It's always,
It's always exactly one fistful of honey.
Yeah.
That's B doesn't do imperial measurements. B does how much like, okay, for your species, show me your fist. Okay, here's that much.
Like it's like, you know, for Till it's like 1,000 calories. For a normal human it's 2,000 calories. For Coltarn and Varouche it's 10,000 calories. But it's only just still one berry.
Like, yeah, there's 2 ways for your body to process that many like magical calories. Either it adds it to your physiology, in which case you're going to put on a lot of muscle and fat in one night, or it just goes right back out.
Oh my God, it's magical glam, bro.
Yep.
It's healing steroids. God, I would hate to and love to play an actual medical scientist doctor in a D&D setting, and just be like, let me tell you how fucked our nutrition is thanks to fucking druids.
Oh yeah.
Anyways,
I'll put another 5 points for Till to get him back up to full.
so Mistle would need 1 to get back to full. If you have
Yeah,
a spare.
like,
Because I got
but
Still
it's
takes
okay. She's only
takes
got
the
1.
appropriate amount of Goodberry that anybody should take in a day.
Yeah, I got 5 left. You want one?
Yeah, Mistle will take 1.
Yeah, there you go.
What about you, Coltarn?
I'm going to not need to eat for a while, but I'll be fine.
Fucking you eat 2 good berries, you put on 10 pounds in a night. Fucking
I'll have 1 good berry and dump the last 8 points of my healing hands into myself if nobody else is hurt worse. But I think everybody else has already been healed.
There's a reason Coltarn's as big as he is. He eats nothing but good berries all day.
Bees hasn't eaten any yet, but Bees is doing fine. Bees still has 50-something hit points.
Okay.
52, yeah.
Oh yeah,
So,
that's
yeah.
right. You finally broke my cap. I'm no longer the beefiest person in the party.
What?
For a while, I had the most hit points.
Oh God, you said broke my cap. I thought you said broke my cat. I was like, what fucking
I heard
cat?
that too.
Cap with a P.
Yeah, I get it now. I was just very confused there.
Anyways,
Um,
William, it's 10, by the way.
Yeah, I know. So as you continue on further down after having consumed various amounts of good berries and probably going to shit bricks later, we will go ahead and end there for the week.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.